which is Bitcoin hitting $524,000 per coin as per PlanB, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. Here is the latest from PlanB. Here we go. On-chain analyst PlanB says he wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin went as high as $524,000 per coin at some point in the next 4 years. He shares with his almost 2 million followers on X a chart depicting which price the majority of the Bitcoin was distributed at each halving when the miners' rewards get cut in half. And as we all know, the next halving in 2024 is roughly 5 months out to take place in April. So based on the historical trend, the Bitcoin appears to top out about 4 times higher than the lower end of the distribution range. PlanB says the king crypto can soar above a $500,000 range in the next several years. He also says that the next bull run could be even more explosive than in the past due to several macro factors affecting the 2021 cycle, including COVID. Quoting the analyst here, at the 2012 halving, most Bitcoin was $16. At the 2016 halving, most Bitcoin was in the $256 to $1,024 range. And at the 2020 halving, most Bitcoin was in the $4,000 to $16,000 range. And at the 2024 halving, most Bitcoin will be in the $16,000 to $65,000 range. I would not be surprised if the next 4 years, most Bitcoin will transfer in the $65,000 to $524,000 range. Let me know if you agree or disagree with PlanB. Now, the analyst also says the Bitcoin will only remain below the 40,000 level for a matter of time. He shares another chart showing that Bitcoin is trading above the 2-year and 5-month realized price levels as outlined in this realized price chart. The realized price metric tracks the sum of all the Bitcoin at the price they were last transacted on chain divided by the count of Bitcoin in circulation. Quoting PlanB here, enjoy sub 40,000 Bitcoin while it still lasts. And here's some other recent tweets in which he shared. I posted this morning. Bitcoin will never go sub 35,000 ever again. That was on the back of his update here. Breaking Bitcoin valuation based on difficulty, which is the hash rate, increased to 35,000 yesterday. In my opinion, this could mean that apart from possible black swans or short-term volatility based on the dollar kilowatt arbitrage fundamentals, Bitcoin will never go below $35,000 per coin ever again. Let me know if you agree or disagree with PlanB. And someone pointed out here, BlackRock is big shareholders of the 4 largest mining companies. Let's guess. That's right, because they're getting indirect exposure to Bitcoin, probably doing it this way so they don't drive the price up, which would be shooting themselves in the foot. You know what I mean? So let's share what else he recently shared. In my opinion, ETFs like BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager in the world, are currently front-loading BTC through miners instead of exchanges. Pretty slick, right? Buying Bitcoin directly on the exchanges would impact the price too much, but buying indirectly from the miners would impact the hash rate. And what do we got? An all-time high hash rate at the time, right? But not so much the price. Might explain the current hash rate explosion. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. He also tweeted here, since you can buy Bitcoin with dollars directly, talking about investors, or with KWH indirectly with the miners, there's an arbitrage modeled with the red line. Difficulty and hash rate is rising fast. So what do the miners know that investors don't know yet? Or are the ETFs buying through the miners? What are your thoughts, crypto fam? Let me know in that live chat. Other interesting tweets. This is one he shared. I think this was, let me check out the date. This was back in September 18th. He wrote, to be clear, I still stand by my January 12th prediction. Number 1, November 2022, 15,500 was the bottom. Check. Number 2, Bitcoin will rise towards the 2024 halving. Bitcoin already rose from the 18,000 level to 27,000 since January 12th. Check. And then he says 2024 halving will be $32,000 to $66,000 Bitcoin, in my opinion. And the 2025 bull market will be greater than $100,000 to $1 million per coin, in my opinion. So that's what the stock to flow model is telling us. The Bitcoin will hit post-halving between $100,000 and $1 million per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock to flow model. Now, in yesterday's episode, I shared something very intriguing. I want to touch upon it again. And if you missed yesterday's episode, be sure to check it out. Quoting Samson Mao, in 2022, BlackRock released a study that indicated the optimal portfolio allocation to Bitcoin was 84.9%. The remaining 15.1% can go to equities and bonds. This is a research report coming directly from the largest asset manager manager in the world. Let me read to you what's highlighted in yellow and green. Check it out. Exhibit 4 presents the results, starting with a 60-40 equity bond portfolio, which is produced with a risk aversion of Y equals 1.5. The optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84.9%. Now just imagine, hypothetically, if they went that big into Bitcoin, game on. We're talking about a multiple 7-figure price action. But let me continue. The remainder of the portfolio, 15.1%, is split 60-40 between equities and bonds. And reading you the green highlighted part, although Bitcoin has an extremely large volatility of 1.322, the pronounced positive skewness leads to large allocations and dominates in the utility function. Now they also go on to share they're pulling like a MicroStrategy. They say we can have a levered, which is meaning trading with leverage in Bitcoin, and have 106% position into Bitcoin. Now we're talking. This is actually quite intriguing. Now breaking down some of the math of how we can get to a $47 million Bitcoin. And again, I covered this in great detail in yesterday's episode. I highly encourage you all to check it out, but I just want to touch upon it here today. BlackRock has 9.4 trillion in assets under management, 9.4, and then we got 0.849 for the right Bitcoin position percentage. So 7.98 trillion that BlackRock will need to allocate to Bitcoin to follow their paper, 7.98, and we have 118B of a multiplier that equals $941 trillion market cap. So Bitcoin would be about $47 million per coin. And Samson Mao says the math checks out. And as I share here, with BlackRock allocating their optimal portfolio allocation into Bitcoin of 84.9%, according to their very own study released in 2022, this would send the Bitcoin price action to $47 million per coin. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of these predictions with the stock to flow, Bitcoin rising between 100,000 and $1 million per coin post 2024 halving. And what are your thoughts on BlackRock potentially allocating almost 85% of their portfolio into the king? You already know, fam, it's about to get lit.